South Point is also proud to provide a variety of relaxing amenities for the guests who want to be pampered. We have 11 amazing restaurants featuring a wide variety for every price range and appetite. South Point's Garden Buffet has something for everyone at unbeatable prices. Or, if hunger strikes in the middle of the night, join us at Coronado Cafe. The American menu offers breakfast, lunch, or dinner 24 hours a day, plus a Chinese kitchen for authentic Chinese dishes from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. From steak and eggs to wonton soup, it's fast and friendly service 24/7. When you need a quick pick-me-up, you can find it at our state-of-the-art Starbucks just inside the main South Point entrance. Order ahead with the Starbucks app for easy mobile order pickups. Or enjoy your favorites in the relaxing dining area anytime, day or night. If you love Mexican food, Baja Miguel's has all of your south of the border favorites. There are dozens of classics to choose from, like fajitas, ceviche, chimichangas, tacos, and more. And for spirit lovers, Baja's colorful non-smoking tequila bar is right outside.
Hi, I'm Kurt Angle. I represented the United States in the Olympics in 1996 and won a gold medal. Then I parlayed that into a pro wrestling career. I saw a commercial a few years ago.
Tunnel to Towers Foundation made a promise.
The Tunnel to Towers Foundation is paying off the mortgages for Gold Star families with young children. I thought, this is really cool. I want to be a part of it. My dad served in the Army for 30 years. We didn't have a lot of money, but he made sure we had what we needed. He set a great example for all of us. He died in a construction accident my freshman year in high school. When he died, we didn't have any income coming in, and we ended up being forced to move out of our house. I was devastated. So I understand what these families are going through, and to have an organization like Tunnel to Towers come in and pick you up and carry you and give you a home to live in, I think that's just amazing. I'd like to ask you to donate $11 a month to support these efforts by going to t2t.org or calling 1-844-BRAVEST.
The following is a Race Day Las Vegas presentation in association with Siraco Productions Limited on the Race Day Las Vegas Radio Network.
Live from from the gaming capital of the world, time for Race Day Las Vegas, covering the sport of kings with a Las Vegas perspective. Now to the race desk with your host, Ralph Siraco.
From the backstretch to the turf club, at the race books and on the internet, to all horse players around the world, a good morning. All righty, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Race Day Las Vegas radio program as we come to you live and direct from the gaming capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada, right here at our studio station at the South Point Hotel Casino Complex in Las Vegas on Las Vegas Boulevard and the South Point Streaming Network at YouTube. We welcome you to the show. We also welcome all of you listening to us right now on our local radio station, Sports Talk 1400 AM, 107.1 FM. And, of course, all of our websites that you know are there for your listening pleasure, however you want to get us. And, of course, your apps on your devices, your iPhone, Androids, and Google phones. You can get the apps at your app store, so you can hear us through the radio station at the KSHP app. And, of course, the YouTube app will have you seeing and hearing us as well on that. And, of course, anywhere you get podcasting. All right, simply put, however, wherever, whenever, welcome to the Race Day Show. You can see that we have 21 days left until Breeders' Cup starts. Okay? 3 weeks from tomorrow will be the first of the 2-day Breeders' Cup championships for 2025 at Del Mar. And, of course, it's going to be the day of the future stars, all the 2-year-olds and the 5 2-year-old stakes races that encompass the Breeders' Cup will be held on that Friday. And then, of course, Saturday will be the big divisions, all of the big divisions left in the Breeders' Cup. And this is going to be a doozy this year. It's going to be a real good Breeders' Cup. And, of course, I will remind you, as I always do, that we have our Breeders' Cup special Race Day Las Vegas Breeders' Cup special show that happens here at YouTube on October 30th, the Thursday before the Breeders' Cup at 3 p.m. Pacific time, only here on the YouTube streaming network. Following day, we get the Breeders' Cup races, the 2-year-old races. Following that will be the Breeders' Cup seminar in the Grandview Lounge adjacent to the race book, and that'll start at 6 p.m. with Jonathan Hardoon and John Lendo. And then, of course, on Saturday, the big day, it'll be the big viewing party in the ballroom. Of course, the ballroom will also be open on Friday for the first day of Breeders' Cup, but the big party is on the next day, the Saturday, where we'll have an abundance of betting windows. You won't get locked out, that's for sure. And then, of course, betting kiosks. You got food and beverage discount prices and big banquet tables. So you can spread out, bring your friends, and have a good time. Prize giveaways, all that good stuff will happen on Breeders' Cup Day. And, of course, you can also introduce yourself if you come on out and enjoy it with us, as we invite you to do. Love to meet you because you get to see us here in the mornings, but we don't get to see you until you introduce yourself to us, and you can do that at the party. We'll have our table there with Jonathan and John as well. So come on out and enjoy the Breeders' Cup here. All of that is free, except for, of course, the discounts that you have for the food and beverage and whatever you want to make a bet. But as far as everything else, that is free of charge to you to enjoy the Breeders' Cup. And, of course, includes free parking as well. All righty. Well, we're coming up. This is kind of the lull before the Breeders' Cup. As you know, all of the Breeders' Cup win and prep races are all done now. Now the horses are doing their final preparations and getting that fine-tuned, tightened, ready for that Saturday or that Friday for the Breeders' Cup. But along the way, we will have some defections in the Breeders' Cup, and we have some to report to you today. The Champagne Stakes winner, the big race for 2-year-olds in New York, the Champagne, the winner of that race, Napoleon Solo, will not participate in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. His connection said it was a very fast race, and he is, for their thought in mind, they think like handicappers. They thought the race was just too powerful He got such a big number that he is a bounce candidate for the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. So they have decided to put him away for the rest of the year and start looking at a 3-year-old campaign for the Champagne winner, Napoleon Solo. This, the words from the trainer, Chad Summers. So although he won big and he's not injured, they just think he just might have ran too fast, too early for a 2-year-old and might bounce in the juvenile, and they're not going to do that. So in looking for the welfare of their horse, Napoleon Solo is going to skip the juvenile, and he's going to prepare for his 3-year-old year, of course, on the road to the Kentucky Derby and the Triple Crown. It's Our Time, the big, big winner at Saratoga. Remember, Tom Amos's big winner at Saratoga, and then flopped in the Champagne as well. It's Our Time, who finished 4th to Napoleon Solo, after Napoleon Solo put him into the passenger seat and on its way to a 4th place finish. It's Our Time. Tom Amos said maybe it's too early and pressing him too hard as well. So It's Our Time will not bounce back and go on the juvenile. He has also been removed from consideration. So It's Our Time and Champagne winner Napoleon Solo, both of those will skip the Breeders' Cup Juvenile, rest up, and start looking at a 3-year-old campaign. The German-bred Goliath. This is a horse from Europe. He is a 2-time European Grade 1 winner, and he's been supplemented to the Breeders' Cup Turf, the 1.5-mile Breeders' Cup Turf. The supplement, $200,000 to supplement his stallion to the Breeders' Cup, so he can qualify, and then another $125,000 for Goliath to actually supplement to the race. So they're in for $325,000 for this horse, Goliath, a 2-time Grade 1 winner in Europe, to make it to the Breeders' Cup Classic. We'll wait and see. Take a look at that horse. Sierra Leone, winner of last year's Breeders' Cup Classic. He will make his final start of his racing career in this year's Breeders' Cup Classic. After that, he will go into retirement and stallion. So we got one more shot to see Sierra Leone in the big race on Breeders' Cup Day. And so those are the latest on the Breeders' Cup horses. And we're going to get more, we're going to get more news every day as we move towards the Breeders' Cup on all of these horses that are coming in and out of the Breeders' Cup. But so far, the Breeders' Cup Classic, so far, this race that's coming together that could be an absolute vintage Breeders' Cup is still intact. Because Sierra Leone will run in, but it'll be his last race before he retires. Now on to some news as far as the human side is concerned. Luan Machado got a 3-day suspension for his ride on Percy's Bar in the Alcibiades Stakes. If you remember, he finished first in the Alcibiades, going wire to wire with Percy's Bar, but he veered out. Remember, he veered out under the left-handed whip, and then he was disqualified. Well, Machado got 3 days for that move, for the left-handed whip move there from the stewards at Keeneland. And finally, a HISA suspension of the highest sort from HISA. Trainer Juan Muniz Cano. Juan Muniz Cano, who is training in Kentucky. Obviously, he's not one of the top leading trainers there, but he is training based out of Kentucky. Has received a 12-year suspension from HISA for 6 separate violations of the drug clenbuterol in what amounts to be just about a 1-month period from November 24th, from November 2024 to January of 2025. So you got November, December, and January 25. Within that period, over that period of time, he was carded with 6 separate clenbuterol overdoses on his horses. 6 clenbuterol positives. And for that, HISA has given him a 12-year suspension and a $150,000 fine from HISA for Trainer Cano. Got to wait and see if he'll appeal that. That's for sure. Okay. Don't forget tomorrow, you got 4 different carryovers going on at Santa Anita. They got a carryover in both the Sunset and the regular Pick 6, the Coast to Coast Pick 5, and the Superfecta. And the Super High 5 as well. Coming up this weekend, you've got the State Bred Stakes races, the program, the West Virginia Breds. The West Virginia Breds will be in action at Charlestown. They have 9 stakes races for West Virginia Breds there. And at Laurel Park, the original of this concept, the Maryland Million for the Maryland bred horses, will have 12 stakes races on that card. And believe it or not, Keeneland has a very interesting Grade 1 stakes races. The Queen Elizabeth II Challenge Cup will also be on Saturday as well. Taking a look at what happened yesterday at Keeneland, Luis Saez got his first win of the day in the first race for Joe Sharp, paying $8.94. Ired Ortiz checked in with his first win of the day for Peter Urton in the second race, paying $10.28. Tyler Gaffleone teamed up with Mike Maker in the fourth race with Tingus Pingus. And that winner from 5 to 2 went down to a payoff of $5.34. And that was, of course, a Jonathan Hardoon pick on the show. So Jonathan gets us a pick there, a winner there. In that race, by the way, Unbridled's Map, unseated rider Chris Landeros at the beginning of the race did run around the track. Didn't impede too much of anything, though. And the jockeying trainer was just fine. Gaffleone and Maker win the fourth for Jonathan's pick at $5.34. Then Ired Ortiz Jr. gets his second win in the fifth race for Chow Karamori, paying $8.44. Luis Saez gets his second win of the day in the sixth race for Mike Maker's second win as well, paying $4.16. And then Luis Saez capped it off with his third win in the seventh race for Anna Mea, paying $15.50. All in all, you put that with a $26 winner upsetter in the last race, and you have a carryover in the pick 6 at Keeneland today. 5 out of 6 paid $1,268.93. By the way, the late pick 5 at Keeneland paid $4,845.48. That's what happened yesterday at Keeneland. All right, on today's show, we have Jonathan Hardoon standing by, and of course, Rich Eng will be with us with a race pick and a Thursday night NFL pick as well. Between the Philadelphia Eagles and the New York Giants. We'll wait and see who he likes in that game. And, of course, John Lendo will not be with us today. He is traveling today. He gave me his pick, though, so there's not going to be a problem there. But John Lendo is making his way here to Las Vegas, and he'll be on set with us tomorrow and Saturday. So we'll have John Lendo's picks. And, by the way, his Lendo report is available in the racebook today for Keeneland. And, of course, we'll have Jerry Jackwitz here with his selections and his thoughts at Belmont at Aqueduct today. So your racing menu will come up next, and that will do that right after the break. Don't forget, this is the South Point 400 weekend at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, and it gets started tomorrow. Tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday, the big auto race here, the South Point Auto Race. So don't go away. We'll be right back.
South Point Casino has plenty of attractions for the whole family. Catch a movie. Our 16-screen movie theater includes 2 XD Extreme screens for the ultimate in viewing, sound, and luxury. After the show, treat the family to a variety of treats at our old-fashioned ice cream parlor, Kate's Corner. We scoop up a variety of creamy concoctions, including smoothies, hand-dipped cones, milkshakes, malts, sodas, and sundaes. At Kate's, there's something for everyone. And if you've still got time to spare, our bowling center might be right up your alley. Voted Best of Las Vegas, it's a great place for friends and family fun. 64 lanes, a pro shop, snack bar, and arcade. And while the kids are bowling, you can play slots and sip on a drink in the Alley Cat Lounge while overlooking the lanes. For our more serious and professional bowlers, the South Point is also home to a separate tournament bowling plaza.
Alrighty, back on Race Day Las Vegas. I want to remind everybody out there, as far as Las Vegas this weekend, we're going to be doing a hit and miss as far as rain is concerned. Now, the weatherman said yesterday in the late news before I went to bed that we might have a little rain coming through here tonight and tomorrow. Now it's been updated to where we might get it, we might not get it, but it's going to be cloudy probably. And we are expected to get at least a little rain, I think, somewhere along the weekend. Right now, it's 72 degrees outside, and it's beautiful. The sun's shining with the little cumulus clouds around, but they said that rain might come in a little bit later on. We're going to get up to 85 today. I want to remind everybody, too, that there are two different kind of hurricane systems. One's making it up the west side of Mexico that may affect us here in Las Vegas or in Southern California, certainly in Arizona. Arizona's going to get a lot of rain. And then there's another one on the East Coast that's skating along the eastern seaboard, and then it's making its way out to the Atlantic. So it depends on the routes of these two hurricanes on either side, how much precipitation we might have as far as the racing centers are concerned on coast to coast. Like I said, we're going to get up to 85 degrees today. Right now in Miami, it's 85 and raining. It's 63 in New York and sunny. 65 in Chicago and sunny. And, of course, in Los Angeles, it's 85 and overcast today. But, of course, you know, the racing doesn't start until tomorrow. And as far as the hot spot in the nation, it's back in at Phoenix, Arizona. It's going to be 92 degrees there with the little clouds. But we're waiting to see how the weather may affect some of the racing centers over the weekend. As far as the precipitation is concerned, as I say, that's about all we have to deal with, those two patterns of the hurricanes on either side. So we'll go to our racing menu now for today, reminding you, as we always do, the first post times we broadcast on the racing menu are that of the Pacific time zone. So if you're in the Pacific time zone, as we are here, and as they'll roll out in the race books today, these will be the first post times. If you're in any other time zone, anywhere else, just adjust to the Pacific time zone, and you'll get it right. Tweak it out so you don't miss anything like I miss Mom and Dad, okay? We begin with Delaware Park today. Delaware Park has 9 races. Their first post time is at 9:45 at Delaware Park. Keeneland Racecourse has 10 races today. A good competitive card today at Keeneland. My goodness. They've got full fields. Most of the races are full fields there at Keeneland. First post time for their 10 race card is at 10 a.m. Keeneland first post time with their Pick 6 carryover. Remember, they didn't hit it yesterday, so the Pick 6 carryover today at Keeneland, $26,648. $26,648. In the Pick 6 today at Keeneland, 10 races and a first post time of 10 a.m. Then we have Belmont at Aqueduct. Belmont at Aqueduct today, 8 races. And a first post time at Belmont at Aqueduct is set at 10:10 at Belmont at Aqueduct today. Looks like racing will be just fine there today. Horseshoe Indianapolis. Horseshoe Indianapolis has 9 races. The final race is going to be a quarter horse race. The first 8 will be thoroughbreds. They do have a super high 5 carryover at Horseshoe Indianapolis today of $9,213. $9,213 super high 5 carryover. And first post time at Horseshoe Indianapolis for their 9 races set is 11:10. 11:10 at Horseshoe Indianapolis. Presque Isle Downs has 8 races today. Their first post time is at 12:30. 12:30 first post there. Hawthorne Racecourse. Hawthorne Racecourse has 8 races today in Chicago. First post time Pacific time is 12:40. 12:40 at Hawthorne. And then we wrap it up with the nighttime tracks. Charlestown, 8 races. First post time is at 4 p.m. Charlestown has a Pick 6 jackpot carryover of $12,871. First post time, Charlestown, 4 p.m. And Remington Park also is at 4 p.m. Their the final track on the menu, Remington Park, 9 races and a first post time there as well as at 4 p.m. And that is the racing menu for this Thursday. Now we'll go to Jonathan Hardoon standing by. Jonathan, good morning.
Good morning, Ralph. How are you?
I'm fine, my man. How's the weather there in your part of the country?
It's actually beautiful. It's a little nippy today, but the sun is shining and no rain in sight, so that's good news.
Now, you know, we're getting to us handicappers, just like the people who are preparing the horses for the Breeders' Cup. Now we're starting to get our material together to start handicapping, because this is not just one race like the Kentucky Derby. It's It's an abundance of big stakes races over 2 days. So we're gathering our information now, as I know you are. And the information most that we have to gather that we don't have yet is the information from the horses from overseas, in the imports that are coming in. It was intriguing to me that Goliath, a horse that I know nothing about, is a two-time Grade 1 winner. But, man, they're putting up a lot of money. They're putting up $200,000 for his stallion to be eligible for Breeders' Cup races, and then, of course, another $125,000 for him to actually start in the race. So they're stuck $325,000. They have to finish in the money just to break even.
Well, I'm sure they think they know what they're doing, but we'll find out, Ralph. You don't know how much money these people have in the bank. Maybe it doesn't mean much to them, and they're taking a shot to make a stallion. That's just the nature of the game.
And, he's a German bred, so that's going to be a little bit different,
Yeah, that's kind of hard to sell. I don't know how many German breds there are out there. I honestly never heard of the horse before either, so I'm like you. I don't know much about it.
Well, we'll have to find out. If they're putting up that kind of money for a German bred, we're going to have to. Well, he is a two-time Grade 1 winner, so I mean, he's not completely, a fantasy for people. But this is what I'm talking about as far as there'll be other individual horses that are coming in from overseas that we're going to have to get up to snuff on. Of course, it helps out when our cable TV network, FanDuel, shows a lot of their European races, certainly the big races at Ascot, etc. If you want to get up early in the morning to watch them, to kind of see those races. And, of course, we know the potent guys from Europe, Aidan O'Brien and Appleby. And,
Charles Appleby, yeah.
So we got a good edge on that, but there's always that one out there that
slips through the cracks and pays $48.
Yeah. And, of course, it's that angle with Forever Young coming back again, Sooner or later, I think he's going to win a big race here in America.
But he seems to get bet every time, so he'd have to pay like $18 to get even, and that's not happening.
Well, with the international pools and all that, the Japanese people are going to bet the heck out of Forever Young. We know that, that's for sure. But in any case, surprising that two horses that performed in the Champagne, the winner and, of course, the hyped-up horse, It's Our Time, both connections have decided to do the best for their horses and not come back in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. Maybe it's because, and I'm just speculating here, that it's in Southern California at Del Mar, and they know that Bob Baffert's got a whole barn full of 2-year-olds to attack them in those races.
Well, maybe the horses just didn't come out of the race that good, and they're doing the right thing. They're ending their 2-year-old campaign, and I guess they'll be pointing towards the Triple Crown next year. But it's unusual, really, where 2 days after a race, people are saying that they're backing out of races. It's more than meets the eye here, in my opinion.
Okay, and what's your opinion of Mr. Kano getting 12 years suspension?
I guess it's 2 years per penalty, so 6 clenbuterols to do the math. They always seem to get the smaller kind of barns, though, for some reason. It's never the big. Maybe the big guys don't do anything wrong. I don't know, whatever it is. But the little guy always seems to get the raw end of the stick here.
Well, here's what I think. I think that, yes, the trainer is ultimately responsible. We know that. We know that that was an abundance of violations in the short period of time. So we got to figure that he knew what was going on with that. But, man, where's the spotlight on the vet that, put this into the horses?
Yeah, it could have been a lot of trainers do their own work, I guess. It's illegal, so I don't know who's doing it, but whoever's doing it did it, I guess. I don't know if it's a time thing. I think maybe they're allowed, but not within a certain period of time, that close to the race. Every HISA has all new rules, so it's hard to even give a horse an aspirin these days, to be honest with you.
We hear about these suspensions. We hear about these penalties, etc. But unless I don't know, do they notify them right away that they have a violation, or do they wait a period of time? Because it seems like if they notify them as soon as they find out of the violation, then he knew ahead of time, at least maybe 2 into it or 3 into it, that they're watching him, and to have 6 in a row seems to be defiant.
Yeah, and did they pay the purse money out? Usually if they catch it right away, they're not going to pay the purse money out. So the owner certainly knows, and the trainer knows too, that there's a problem. So again, Ralph, every place has their own rules, and it's just, I don't know. I don't have the answer. It's HISA. What could I tell you? They got $71 million. Let them figure it out.
You talk about the money that they get to operate HISA from the racetracks, et cetera. All that money is generated from the racetracks, et cetera. A lot of the racing associations are now starting to balk at the payments they have to make. They don't think that the money is spent right. They don't think it's worth it.
Exactly. Look what their payroll is compared to what they do. Remember, 2,700 of the 2,800 penalties was for whip violations. So do you think it's worth that kind of money? And guess what, Ralph? Sooner or later, it's going to get handed down to the players. Track's not going to pay for this. Owners aren't going to pay for it. They're going to increase the takeout or something that's going to have to compensate part of that $70 million, I think.
Well, you know as well as I do that the consumer in every walk of life is the last guy at the end of the row.
At the bottom of the totem pole.
He turns around and there's nobody to hand it off to. He's the one that's got to pay for it. So we'll wait and see what happens there. But and they were talking about also the reports that HISA has at the end of the year with the fatalities and the percentage of fatalities in horses, and they say that whatever HISA is doing to prevent that is not working because the numbers are just about the same before as and after, with HISA.
Exactly. So how are they going to justify what they're getting paid to do?
Yeah.
If you do a job, you got to get paid to do it. And if you get paid in the job and you're not doing what are they there to do? I still don't get it. I mean, horse racing, integrity, everything else. We hear about it all the time. They have nothing to do with CAW. Whenever they have nothing to do with it, they pass the buck. So they have nothing to do with CAW. Put the $71 million into fixing the CAW problem, and you'll see how much you'll improve the game.
Well, the thing is, you're exactly right. I'm glad you did that. Maybe they ought to shift some of the money because their ultimate goal is to for the safety of the horses and the riders. That translates to the safety and the integrity to the players, okay?
The whole game.
Right.
You need the safety and integrity of the whole game. It's not just little parts of the game. The whole game is
exactly.
one.
And so they should put more money into the betting patterns, et cetera, and some of these goofy prices that we're getting, that's for sure. But that would...
Update the software, Ralph, for all these betting platforms. Bring it up to date.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be good. Well, we solved that problem. Let's get to looking at some other horses for some winners. That was a nice winner yesterday, although I will say that he got
like a drunken sailor through the stretch.
Please.
He was going every which way but straight, and his wires couldn't come soon enough.
When I was watching that race and they were coming down the stretch, all I thought about was just stay clear enough that when you start drifting in and out, you're not going to impede a horse, And thank goodness he was more than a length in front of the second place horse most of the way through the entire stretch.
Yeah.
That him veering in and out didn't cause any problems. But, they might have to work on a different type of bit or maybe blinkers or something on him. But he got the job done.
That's it. We got paid. That's all that counts.
Let's do it. Let's put some more of that money. Let's put that bankroll to work and build it.
Okay, let's look at Belmont at Aqueduct and look at the first race today. It's a 1.16 miles on the turf, and I like the number 5 horse in here, Collaboration. This is a 5-year-old mare from the Linda Rice barn. You could draw a line through her last race. She was breaking from the 11 post at Saratoga on that turf course. It was an impossible mission. Rider switch today to Flavian Pratt, 4-1 on the morning line. Number 5, Collaboration, wins today's opener out at Belmont at the Big A.
All right, the first race at Belmont at the Big A scheduled on the inner turf course, still there on the inner turf course. You like this 5 Collaboration, Pratt and Linda Rice. That's a potent pair, that's for sure. But in that first race, we do have 5 scratches now. Number
All
8.
MTOs, Ralph. They're all MTOs. The
Correct.
8 on down.
Right.
Okay.
Yes, but there's 5 scratches out of the 12, so it's a 7-horse field, and in that 7-horse field you have Collaboration at 4-1. Let's hope if we can hold that price. Although with Pratt and Linda Rice, probably a little bit less, but nevertheless, a winner is a winner, and it starts out the early pick 5 at Belmont at Aqueduct. First race, number 5, Collaboration, and we hope Pratt and Linda Rice collaborate to win that race. Okay, Keeneland.
Let's go to Keelan. Look at race number 9, 7 furlongs on the main track. And the number 10 horse in here, Pursuit Never Sleeps, a 3-year-old colt from the Dale Romans barn, Corey Lanery aboard to ride. 4 career starts. The only race was 2 starts back when he was asked to go 2 turns, cuts back to a sprint, and his sprint race is all good enough to get the job done here. Full field of 12. Number 10, Pursuit Never Sleeps, 7-2 on the morning line, wins today's 9th race out at Keelan.
Keelan's 9th race, 7 furlongs. You like the 10, Pursuit Never Sleeps. The 10 in the 9th race. By the way, there are 3 scratches in that 9th race as well. They are number 4, Dreamin' Blue, the 9, Hyman, and the 14, Busk are all scratched in that race. But nevertheless, the 10 is the winner there, as you say, in the 9th race, number 10 at Keeneland. And you have 2 full sheets. You've got Belmont at Aqueduct and at Keeneland.
JONHARDOON.com. Thank you, Ralph. Stay safe and be well.
All right. And you can bill Heisa for solving their problems today, okay?
Thanks.
All right. We'll be right back. Don't go away. Rich Eng's next.
Thank you, buddy.
There are many families that need your help. I'm Mark Wahlberg, and I'm asking you to support the Tunnel to Towers Foundation in their efforts to deliver mortgage-free homes to catastrophically injured service members, Gold Star, and fallen first responders families with young children, as well as eradicating homelessness amongst our veterans.
Everybody knows where the money's going. Every single dollar. God bless you.
Please contribute $11 a month to support their efforts by visiting t2t.org.
This is speed. This is winning. This is losing. This is smoke and fire. This is high stakes and wild cards. This is family and tradition. This is everything on the line. This is it. This is NASCAR in Las Vegas. The South Point 400, a NASCAR playoff race, October 10th through 12th. Get your tickets now. LVMS.com.
All right, back on Race Day Las Vegas. Now it's time to go out to Rich Eng standing by. Richie, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Ralphie. Good morning, viewers. Good morning, listeners.
Richie, all I can say is that the Eagles are playing the Giants tonight on the Thursday night NFL game. And you and I both know this has been a rivalry for a long time. And the Eagles go in and visit the Giants tonight. But they're coming in off of a loss and the smarts. I don't know how else to put it. But why in the heck did they only use Barkley for 6 carries in their loss last time? And is he set to go tonight?
Well, I know post-game there was a lot of criticism about the Eagles' game plan. When you have the best running back in the league and Saquon Barkley, to only give him 6 carries is inexcusable. And I think that'll be rectified tonight. I expect to see him carry the ball at least a good 15 times or more. Mm-hmm. This is a really tough spot for the New York Giants, Ralph. Last week they played in New Orleans. In a terrible display of offensive football, they lost the turnover battle 5-0. They turned the ball over 5 times. And in actuality, the Giants' defense played pretty well because when your offense keeps putting you behind the 8 ball and you only give up 26 points, the defense actually played pretty well, all things considered. But you just can't have that from your offense, give up the ball 5 times. the Giants are a little hamstrung offensively too. A couple weeks ago, they lost Malik Neighbors, the number one receiver, and in the game last week, they lost their number two receiver, Steve Slayton. So they're in trouble with the wide receivers. They don't have anyone who can get the ball down the field, and Scatterboo has been running the ball pretty well, but when you turn the ball over 5 times, I can almost predict the Giants will be a little more conservative to try to protect Jackson Dart and protect the football. Now, as far as the Eagles side, the Eagles in their first 5 games have played 5 one-score games, and they won the first 4, and then they coughed up a second-half lead to Denver and got upset at home. And so now they're 4-1, but they haven't really played a full 60-minute football game yet. And a game like this might be the remedy that the Eagles are looking for, an opponent like the Giants to actually start putting some things together. I did notice that the Eagles games this year, they have played 5 of the top statistical quarterbacks in the National Football League this season. It starts with Patrick Mahomes, Matthew Stafford, Mayfield. Statistically, those are 5 of the top quarterbacks in the league. Now they face Jackson Dart without his top 2 receivers. I think there's a chance for the Eagles to really lay some lumber on them. So the line is 7.5. I know 7's a prime number. If you want to buy it down to the half a point down to 7, I'd have no problem with that. But I really like the Philadelphia Eagles tonight to play a full 60-minute football game, which they have not done yet so far this season.
And so you're going to take the Eagles laying 7.5 points. You're going to lay that lumber because of all the things you just said. My understanding is the latest we got out of the NFL for Barkley is he's going to play tonight, but they said he's experiencing soreness. And I don't know where I guess one of the 6 running plays that he had the other night might have caused him to be sore, but they said he's going to go. He's going to play tonight. And he is a key in getting that 7.5 covered. That's for sure with the Eagles. And of course, like I said, the Eagles and the Giants, they are very familiar with each other, having a rivalry in the same division for so many years. But the Eagles minus 7.5 tonight. What about the total? Do you think there'll be enough? Do you think the Giants will score at least enough to get that total over?
Let me just remind myself of the number 42. I see on the come out sheet. I don't know if it's moved up or down since the 42. But if the Giants try to protect the football and try to protect Jackson Dart, and without their 2 top weapons, there's a pretty good chance the Giants are going to play very close to the vest. And if the Eagles try to run the football a little more with Barkley, that might take some time off the clock. I probably would lean toward the under, but I definitely like the Eagles as far as a side in the game. Another thing too is I think most football bettors realize that Saquon Barkley started his career with the Giants. Anytime he plays against New York, he wouldn't mind laying the lumber on the Giants for letting them walk away from Giant Stadium. There's a lot of emotion involved in Saquon Barkley playing New York.
Well, traditionally, the Thursday night games, although there have been a couple this year that have not fit that mold, but traditionally on the Thursday night games, because it's a short week of preparation from their Sunday games to Thursday night, their sheet of plays that they want to put in is a little bit shorter, their game plan for plays, than it would be on a normal week where you can prepare through Sunday. And because of that, the total is traditionally under most of the time on Thursday night games. Not too much this year, but they have been traditionally. But I will say, as far as the number is concerned, they have lowered that number too. I mean, usually the over-under number be between 44, 46, and as you say, the opening number was 42. We'll wait and see where that lands. But you're going to take the Eagles, laying the lumber at 7.5 against the Giants. All right, let's turn our attention now to some horse racing. Richie, all I can say is the horse that you and John Lindo both picked yesterday ran what I thought to be an erratic race, and I would like to know what happened. But your horse was you guys' horse was in a perfect spot, running second. Came within a length of the horse that was on the lead, and then for some reason or another, Tyler Gaffalione looked like he kind of stopped on the horse as though the horse had either seen or was attempting to jump at something, and it was kind of erratic then. And then towards the end, he just let him run again, and the horse finished third in the race. But he was at the point and the juncture of what this kind of unusual situation happened. He was just about to just run right by the leader.
Yeah, well, I saw that too, Ralph. He was in perfect position. It looked like he was going to win the race. And then around the eighth pole, he kind of let up as if maybe he thought the horse was going bad or something.
Yeah.
Or had taken a bad step.
Yeah.
But then, like in the last few strides, he actually got into him again, but it was too late. He ended up third.
Yeah.
But he looked like a winner, and then something happened middle of the stretch.
Yeah, and I was trying to listen to the reports afterwards, but nobody mentioned that or asked about that. But I would really like to know what happened. If the horse saw something, if he was something happened that had Gaffalione react like that. That I do know, and because I was right about when he was getting going right around the top of the stretch, I said, well, you could put a circle around this horse because nothing was coming seriously from anywhere else, and he put him in a perfect position all through the race, and it was just a matter of running down the leader. But there's a million ways to lose a race and only one way to win it, finishing first and make it an official with the stewards. So let's take a look at what we got today.
Well, let's go to Keeneland, Ralph. I have a sheet for Keeneland. If anyone's interested out there, they can go to the racedaylasvegas.com website to purchase it. Race number is Maiden Claiming 50, and it's a pretty open race. There's quite a few contenders. The horse that I like is the number 9, Coffee Talk, 7-2 in the morning line for David Jacobson. Jose Ortiz picks up the mount, which I think is a real positive sign. But, a couple angles for me here. This horse was claimed for $30,000 last time at Ellis Park out of a turf, and quite frankly did not run that well as a beaten favorite. But the thing I like is the 4 races before that were all in maiden special weight conditions, and the speed figures are actually not bad compared to the rest of this field. So if David Jacobson can, 1, get him to run back at least to his better speed figures, and 2, maybe even improve him a step, I think he's a danger from the outside. The horse, in my mind, to beat is the number 7, Don't Ghost Me. But if people overbet that horse with Saez, maybe we'll get the full 7. Let's go with Coffee 9 in race 2.
All right, you've got in the second race, you got number 9, Coffee Talk. Coffee Talk with Jose Ortiz is your play in the second race at Keeneland. And they believe in horse racing mostly that the biggest class drop in horse racing is going from straight maiden to maiden claimer. So we'll wait and see if that applies here as well. Second race, number 9, Coffee Talk is your pick. And don't forget, Richie's got a full sheet of handicapping today for Keeneland right now at the racedaylasvegas.com website. All right, Richie, let's put a little bit of a horse hide and pig skin together and get it done today. Thanks a lot, my man.
Yeah, and for the baseball fans, the Yankees season ended last night.
Yeah,
so that's it for the Yanks.
it mercifully ended last night. Thanks a lot, my man.
Hey, thanks, John. Thanks, John. Good luck, everybody.
All right. This, of course, folks, this comes from a Mets fan, so we'll leave it at that. In any case, we'll be back. I'll give you John Lendo's selection for today, and then we'll wrap it up with Jerry Jackowitz, so don't go away.
South Point is also proud to provide a variety of relaxing amenities for the guests who want to be pampered. Soak up the sun and let your stress melt away in our lagoon-style Paradise swimming pool. A relaxing getaway where you can bask in the desert sun and enjoy seasonal food and bar service poolside. And if you really want to escape, come to Spa Costa del Sur. From couple suites to a co-ed wet area, our spa caters to business and leisure travelers who want to unwind and elevate their senses. A visit to one of our spa's steam, sauna, or whirlpool treatment rooms will leave any guest feeling like they can take on the world.
Are you ready to lock in your bets and cash in on the games this weekend? Join Jeff Parles and Alex White.
One of my favorite plays here is getting 2 touchdowns with Florida State.
Even though the total's been batted down a little bit, I still think it's okay to go under.
Chris Andrews and Vinny Magliulo.
I don't think this is a great Kansas City team. I think the Chargers win this game.
All right.
If you see a hook here, it's not going to last long.
The wise guys are certainly not going to play the favorite.
Every NFL matchup, every college game that matters, the spreads, the stats, and the smart money plays.
Are we sure either of these quarterbacks are good?
Hell no, we're not sure.
Bet your winning edge with Football Frenzy, streaming live on YouTube every Friday at noon Pacific.
The Race Day Las Vegas Show, the only exclusive daily local media racing information source in Las Vegas.
Alrighty, back on Race Day Las Vegas for this Thursday. Looking ahead to this weekend, we're going to have John Lindo on set with us tomorrow. And, of course, on Saturday, he is in transport right now. But John Lindo has his full Lindo report for today's racing at Keeneland available here and only in one place in the gaming capital, here at the South Point in the racebook, free of charge, is the Lindo report. It covers all of the races, selections in all the races, a suggested late pick 4, and, of course, all the goodie information as well. Full sheet Lindo report for Keeneland today here at the South Point Racebook, free of charge, exclusively complimentary because they love horse players here. And before John took off on his travel up here, he sent us a pick for you today on the show. That comes in the 4th race today at Keeneland. This is a maiden race. It's on the turf at 1 1/8 for 3-year-olds and up, fillies and mares. Now, you got a full field in this race. And in the race, in the 4th race, he likes number 5, Don't Look Now. Luan Machado aboard on the horse. Number 5, Don't Look Now, is 8-1 on the morning line. So let's hope we can keep that for that price there. But in the 4th race, and I will check to make sure that we don't have any scratches in that race. And we're looking at, again, the 4th race there. The 4th race, the only scratch we have in the 4th race is the 1-horse Perfect Union. At this time, the 1 is the only one out. So we'll go with number 5, Don't Look Now. Machado aboard. The 5 in the 4th race at Keeneland is Jerry J's, it's John Lindo's play. We got Jerry J coming up in a minute. John Lindo's play, 4th race, the 5 at Keeneland. And, of course, like I said, he'll be with us on set tomorrow. All right, now let's go to Jerry J. I was looking at Jerry, and good morning, Jerry.
Good morning, guys.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second here. Every day you come with a Raiders or a Giants hat. The Giants are playing today. Yes, you go get that hat. On the day that the Giants are actually playing, you're not going to wear that hat? There you go.
I was just looking so good, my hair just perfect.
Right.
All of a sudden, I didn't want to mess with it.
Well, I know that you're not an official handicapper for football, but what do you think? What do you think of your Giants tonight going against the Eagles?
Well, I think that's as good a chance as they had against. I don't think they had as good a chance of winning as they had against the Saints, and we know how that worked.
Well, yeah, okay. You're very diplomatic in your assessment of the Giants, and
can I quote Carl Banks?
Yes, you can.
Carl Banks' comment on his podcast this week was, which is "Believe in Giants." It's a great podcast. Was Giants are a shit show.
Okay. She show. Yeah.
A she show.
Yeah. Anyhow,
we can say that on.
Well, we are on radio. We're still simulcasting on AM radio here. But
I'm sorry.
In any case, here's the deal. Well, you didn't exactly pronounce it correctly, anyhow, so that's okay. But here's the deal. Every time somebody gets, this is the NFL we're talking about. Every time somebody gets like that, they could put their foot right in their mouth with that. So let's keep that.
That's true. That's true. It is the NFL.
It is the NFL. That's right.
What do they have? No figure league?
Yeah, the no figure league.
But, they're all professional players. The problem with the Giants is they don't have very good receivers, and their coaches haven't called a decent game really very often.
So. No, I know. Well, the Eagles didn't call such a great game last week in their loss, too, when you only have Barkley carrying the ball 6 times in the whole game, and you're behind. So,
clever.
Yeah.
Very
Anyhow,
clever move.
That's the NFL. What about today at Belmont and Aqueduct?
Yeah, well, I've just real quickly, I've condensed the Power Page from 2 products into one.
Yes, I see that.
So from now on, there's just going to be one Power Page. It's going to be called the Power Page Plus. It's got the PKs with the pop-out keys and the V's and the stars. It won't have a write-up on a horse. That's something it's not going to have.
Yeah, I noticed that, and Sean did mention that to me today. You did not have feature plays on there. So now we're going to get what you believe to be a feature play today in your pick.
Correct, which means everybody should come and visit with you.
That's right. You got to watch the show now. You got to watch the show now for feature plays. Go, Jerry.
Right. We're going to go to the 8th race. I have a 2-number horse, A Little at First from Horatio de Paz, Dylan Davis up. First time out, looked like a tour of the course going 5.5 on the turf. Comes right back now, stretching out to 2 turns on the turf. Should like the distance. I like the horse a little bit. Came home nicely in that race. Let's take the 5. It's a good win place bet. Maybe that's the right play there, but we'll take the 5 with the 1, 6, 11, and 12 for small. I'm sort of into the win place bet.
Okay, in the 8th and final race, a maiden race for 2-year-olds on the inner turf course at a 1/16. You like number 5, A Little at First. The 5, A Little at First. 5-1 on the morning line with Dylan Davis. The 5 is the key. Link ups, if you choose, are numbers 1, 6, 11, and 12, and reverse. And that is what he deems to be the feature play today on the Power Page. Now with the new device.
Hey, Ralph, how's this? It's a little at first, but a lot more the second time.
A little at first and the best at last. Yeah,
Okay.
That's right. There we go. In any case, the 5. No matter how you slice it up, we want them to win the 8th and final race at Belmont. Don't forget, the full Power Pages, the new version of the full Power Page is available today at Belmont at Aqueduct at jerryjspowerpage.com. And now you have to watch the Race Day show every day to get his feature play picks. Okay?
Right.
In any case, he'll be rooting for the Giants and the horse in the last race. And Jerry always is the guy that has the last say.
Have a great race day, everybody.